Have you ever found yourself reaching for a drink even though you promised you wouldn't? Like, you swore you'd take the night off, but suddenly you're halfway through a glass of wine while making dinner, almost without realizing it. Or you told yourself you'd be good at that brunch, but then your girlfriend says she doesn't want to drink alone, and you don't know how to say no without it feeling weird or awkward. Or maybe there is a very specific moment that, no matter how much progress you've made with drinking less, that one trigger just gets you every time. Like when your partner pours a glass on a Friday night, or when your kids go to bed, or when your in laws come for a visit. If that's you, I created something special for you. It's called the Trigger Breakthrough, and it's a 3-session coaching sprint designed to help you finally break that one pattern that keeps pulling you back in. We'll work together to change how you respond to your biggest trigger, whether that's social anxiety, the witching hour before dinner, or a particular place or person that makes drinking seem like a foregone conclusion. You'll walk away with practical tools for the exact situation where you most need them, and you'll finally feel in control around alcohol. I'm opening only a handful of spots for the Trigger Breakthrough, and applications close August 5th. Go to the link in the show notes to apply today. If you're tired of drinking more than you want to, this is your moment. Let's change that old pattern once and for all. You're listening to How to Drink Less, and I'm your host, Adriana Cloud. Whether your goal is to cut back, take a break, or say goodbye to alcohol for good, this podcast will help you stop drinking on autopilot, learn how to manage cravings, and feel fully in control around alcohol. It's easier than you think. Listen on to find out how. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for making time to join me for another episode. It's going to be a short one, but a powerful one this week. But before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask you. If you're finding the podcast useful, and if you think someone else might find it useful, I would love it if you take a couple of minutes to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, because reviews help other listeners to find the show, and it would mean the world to me if you help me to reach more people who are struggling with their relationship with alcohol and who could benefit from listening to How to Drink Less. Thank you in advance. Please know I appreciate you. All right, now to business. Today, I want to talk about one simple thing you can do that can make a huge difference in how you respond to the urge to drink, and it will help you to drink less overall. And that one simple thing is to hit pause and just check in with yourself before you drink. Please don't roll your eyes at me. I know this is not a revolutionary idea to pause before doing something, but I also know that it's a tool that's vastly underused. First of all, in today's world, we are so overstimulated and our attention is pulled into so many directions that we're always moving. Often, we're literally running around from one task to the next, and even when we're physically still, our minds are still constantly spinning. We're worrying about tomorrow's meeting while we're doom scrolling on Instagram, while trying to help our kids with homework, while listening to a podcast, while planning what to cook for dinner, while wondering if Shelly is mad at us because she still hasn't responded to our texts. Sound familiar? And second of all, most drinking happens on autopilot. Simply put, we drink out of habit. We drink because we have previously drunk in that situation or with that person, or when we felt that feeling. The urge shows up, and next thing you know, the glass is in your hand. There's no space between wanting the drink and having the drink. And that's exactly why the pause is so important, because pausing creates space. It's that moment between the urge and the action, between the trigger and the response. It's that little sliver of time where you have the chance to come off autopilot and interrupt the default programming and actually check in with yourself before you make your next move. This is not about getting rid of urges. It's entirely normal to want a drink if you have previously taught your brain to desire a drink at 6 p.m. when you start making dinner, or on Fridays as soon as you close your laptop, or when your favorite bartender asks if you'll have the usual. Urges are just learned associations. They're not morally wrong, and it's not a lack of willpower or a weakness if you still crave alcohol, even though you're consciously trying to drink less. So the goal of a pause is not to eliminate the desire. The goal is just to give yourself that moment of noticing the urge and to decide very intentionally how you want to respond. So what does it look like in practice? Let's say you just came home from work. It's been a long day. Maybe you're stressed or bored or just plain tired, and your brain goes, why not help? Instead of marching straight to the fridge to grab the bottle, you hit pause. You literally stop. You take a breath. And you say to yourself, this is an urge. I don't have to act on it right away. I can take 30 seconds to check in. And then you can ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Physically, are there any sensations I can notice? Like, am I hungry or thirsty? Is there any tension or any aches in my body? Any heaviness or jitteriness? What can I notice? And then ask yourself, what do I actually need right now? Am I looking for comfort or a reward for getting through a hard day or an escape from annoying thoughts or something else? You don't have to have a perfect answer. Especially if you're not used to asking yourself these questions, you probably won't be able to answer it first. It took me a long time to develop that sort of self-awareness where I could actually identify and name my needs. For so long, I was so used to numbing every sensation and every emotion with alcohol that I really had no idea how I actually felt or what I really needed. But this is a skill that you can get better at the more you practice. If you can't come up with a specific answer, just take a guess. What's your best guess for what you're looking for in that moment? And once you have some idea, then you can ask yourself if drinking really will address that need. Let me be clear, hitting pause is not about saying no every time. It's not about gaslighting yourself about what you truly want, or about using willpower to resist temptation. The pause is a chance to reconnect with yourself so you can remember that you have a choice. Because so often we forget that every single drink is a choice. In fact, every single sip is a choice. Even if you've already had 2.5 margaritas, you can still decide not to finish that third margarita. But we're so used to drinking in certain situations that it becomes a foregone conclusion. And it's powerful when you can remind yourself that it's always a choice. That's what we're doing with a pause. We're taking the inevitability out of the situation. So once you've had a moment to name what's happening, you might realize that it's not really wine you need, and instead you need a snack, or to go for a walk with a dog, or to splash some water on your face and take a few deep breaths. Maybe you're looking for entertainment. Maybe you're looking for connection. The pause allows you to identify that, and it gives you a chance to go find the thing that you're really craving. Sometimes, after that initial 30-second pause, you might decide to delay the drink even more. Say, wait 15 minutes and see if you still want it then. You'll be surprised how fickle our desires are and how quickly urges fade if we don't automatically give in to them. It's like a toddler who 1 second is so fixated on their stuffed giraffe and screams if you try to take the giraffe away, but give them 2 minutes and they get distracted by something else, and the giraffe lies forgotten to the side. Your primitive brain is sometimes like a toddler, and if you distract it long enough, the urge goes away. And sometimes you will have your pause and you will still choose to have a drink. That's okay. The difference is that if you decide to still pour the glass of wine, it's now an intentional choice. And that feels very different than if you were just pouring and drinking on autopilot. Trust me, that difference might seem insignificant, but it's everything. Intentionally choosing to have a drink is you being in control, not acting on the whim of your urges. And every time you remind yourself you're in control and you have a choice, that's you taking back your power over your habit. One last thing I'll say about hitting pause. You can do that at any point. You can pause before you reach for the bottle. You can pause before you pour. You can pause before you take the first sip. You can pause when you've had half a glass. You can pause once you finish that first drink. You can pause after the third drink as you're looking at what's left in the bottle and debating whether to finish it or to put what's left in the fridge. It's never too late to pause and check in with yourself about the next choice you want to make. None of it is inevitable. You always have an opportunity to redirect at any point. So that's my challenge for you this week. Whenever you have the thought, I need a drink, or a drink would feel really good right now, practice pausing. Not with a goal of talking yourself out of the urge and then judging yourself if you cave. No. The goal is simply to reconnect with what you truly want and need in that moment, and then decide powerfully and intentionally if alcohol is the answer. And if you want help building that muscle, if you're tired of letting alcohol call the shots and you want support learning to pause, evaluate, and redirect, let's talk. The link to book a free consultation is in the show notes, and I'd love to chat and see if we're a right fit to work together or if there's any other resources that I can recommend for you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. If you're looking for practical advice for how to say no to alcohol and say yes to yourself, you will want to get on my email list. Sign up to receive my free guide with 7 steps to kickstart your sobriety. The link is in the show notes, so go and grab it now, and I'll see you soon in your inbox.